Taylor's Bar Ennis, a traditional pub with a classy modern twist. We are a family-run establishment situated right in the heart of Ennis, County Clare. Pop in and join us for a pint, a glass of wine, or something from the top shelf, and experience our wonderful, cosy atmosphere for yourself, great staff, even better drinks, and lots of fun. Did you know we are Clare Bar of the Year?
Ennis Electrical, best prices on appliances, huge savings on premium brands. Ennis Electrical is a family-run business who pride themselves on good customer relations. Ennis Electrical are part of Expert, one of the largest electrical retailers in Ireland.
Custom sportswear and workwear by Baru Sports in Ennis and Shannon. From clubs and schools to local businesses, we design quality gear that looks sharp and lasts. Baru Sports Ennis and Shannon. Custom made for your team, your work, your game. Call us now on 061 364 750.
NC Paint and Decor. Whatever your decorating needs are, paint, wallpaper or expert colour advice, we've got you covered.
When you paint by feeling, you can come home to a blooming good day. You can make any space feel like outer space. And your living room? Well, that can become an absolute blast. Change starts here. Dulux.
Martin Williams Concrete Products Limited is a family-run business based in County Clare, Ireland, specialising in precast concrete solutions for a wide range of industries. Over 2 decades of experience. Established in 1998, they actively listen to customer needs and continuously research innovative ways to improve their offerings. They have a strong local reputation for reliability and customer service, deep knowledge of the building sector, which they're happy to share with clients. If you're working on a building or landscaping project and need durable, locally made concrete products, they might be worth checking out.
Custy Construction Limited. We have a track record for completing high quality projects on time and within budget for a variety of clients, including large multinational corporations, private companies and several local authorities. We have become notorious for consistent delivery of highly complex projects. Custy Construction Limited.
Bime at Park Kisog for the second of this year's TUS Clare Senior Hurling semi-finals. It's Ballyea versus Clooney Quin. Well, last evening we saw Rogue book their spot in the final. Their opponents, it'll either be a new one for them or indeed bringing up recent memories. Plenty interested townies in the crowd for this one this afternoon, let me tell you. But most of all for the men from Clooney Quin and Ballyea. Big victories for both in the quarter-finals. Clooney Quin taking down the champions and Ballyea taking down many people's favourites in the forms of both Fecal and Clonlara, so plenty on the line this afternoon. Joining us on analysis once again is former Clare captain and our analyst Tommy Guilfoyle. Tommy, conditions perfect, very strong breeze here in the park again, actually just checking the flags out there. Hopefully we won't see the rain, we got it to finish up yesterday evening, but another fabulous contest in store here.
It is, yeah, Derek, and I think probably the wind is a swirling breeze. It's not directly down the field, so based on yesterday's game it had an impact on some of the free takers and that, but look, it's a dry day. The pitch immaculate again, and a really big contest ahead. I suppose you're looking at Ballyea, the proven team, Clooney Quin with the potential and what potential they hold. Some big additions to that. The established players: Jack O'Neill, John Keneally, Ryan Taylor, Peter Duggan. With those younger players that have come in, have really gelled together, and they won't fear Ballyea.
I was just thinking about this on the way in this morning. Stylistically, are they very similar in the way they go about the game? I mean, both have a six that tends to like to sit back and defend at times. Both have the X factors with Kelly and Peter Duggan, obviously. And then we've got what we'll call the new pace in around both teams in the Kirbys and the Jerry O'Connors of the world, and Sam Scanlon up front. So, I mean, there's a lot to think that can cancel each other out.
It will, yeah. And again, the matchups will be crucial here, and some will get it right, some will be wrong, and they'll have to rethink it. But I think it's all about respective inside lines, who gets the quality ball, who gets it in as often as we can. We saw here yesterday evening, the first half, I thought Rogue, delayed the ball too much, particularly with the forward. So I'm sure that, from a Ballyea point of view, I think the two Kirbys probably will pull out maybe between the 21 and the 45, leave a one-on-one inside. Now, whether Clooney will allow that, Clooney Quin allow that, it's another thing. And on the other hand then, you have that aerial threat of Peter Duggan at the edge of the square. But more importantly, I think, the players that are going to come off him, as you said, Jerry O'Connor is buzzing, Scanlon, Denan Fox. They all know that if Peter Duggan gets it, he will pass it. So, it's not just on the Kellys and Duggans. I think maybe the lesser-known players could be crucial here today.
Well, let's take you through all the players that are going to be featuring this afternoon. We'll begin with the men from Clooney Quin, who are warming up here at the old scoreboard end of Park Kisog. They start with the vastly experienced Killian Duggan in goal. Their full back line, Sean McNamara, Conor Grogan and Evan Maxted. John Keneally will anchor things at 6 in their defence. Derek Keogh and John Cahill will be either side of him, wearing 5 and 7 respectively. Ryan Taylor is joined by his captain Jimmy Corrie in the middle of the park. It's Jerry O'Connor, Peter Duggan and Jack O'Neill in the Clooney Quin half-forward line. One change to the programme from the team that was named. Number 20, Dara McNamara, replaces Denan Fox in the full forward line. Callum Hassett and Sam Scanlon complete that inside line. For Ballyea, it's Barry Coote in the goal. Peter Casey, Paul Flanagan and Tygo Hulacan across their full back line. Garrod Gudgie O'Connell, captain on Forna this year for Ballyea. He wears number 5. Jack Brown and Darragh Moylan join him in the half-back line. Midfield pairing on paper anyway is Tony Kelly and Daniel Costello. It's Morgan Gary, Faker Kirby and Pierce Lillis across the 40 for the men from Ballyea, with an inside line Keane Kirby, Cahill Doohan and one significant change. Niall Deasy injured, misses out this afternoon. He doesn't start. Replacing him is county footballer from Lissycasey, Aaron Griffin. Tommy, on that team news, I suppose we were speculating all week. In fairness to Niall Deasy, he was on one leg here for a finish the last time out, just didn't make it. A big physical loss. Griffin brings a different challenge though. Yeah,
and again I think it was, in fairness, Deasy has been struggling throughout the championship, but he has that ability to be in the right place at the right time, and his combination with Kelly is almost telepathic. But on the same token, Aaron Griffin coming in, will add further pace, to that attack. He's very, pacey player, likes to move with the ball. So while DC is a loss, I think Aaron Griffin, has the ability to make a big impact.
We're just watching one man that's going to be very, very central to things down here in front of us, Peter Duggan. He's trying out his freeze there, Tommy, but there is a very heavy strapping on that left arm. Now, I know he picked up an injury the last day. He was actually telling me about it as I was bringing him up for the Man of the Match award on that particular day, but just something I suppose maybe Ballyea will be eager to test out early doors.
Yeah, and again, probably it looks like it's above his elbow, so I don't know, maybe it might be a muscular injury there or something there, but it's not affecting his striking, either freeze or line balls, which he's well capable of hitting from any distance. And again, I think, from both respective managements, I think they will, acknowledge that Kelly on one side and Duggan on the other, will punish any indiscretions, that there will be. So again, how the team's set up, to me, look at it, the semi-final, it's there to be won. But I think you don't go gun-ho at the first minute and go, leave it open and you're chasing the game. So I expect it to be very tight and close. And again, no more than yesterday evening, a lot of bodies in the middle third.
How much does that experience come into it? Because I was talking to somebody from Clooney, Quin, and they just asked me for a prediction when I said Ballyea don't tend to lose semi-finals, and they said not yet anyway, so there was a bit of fire in that as well. But as you say, they know how to manage these games. They know they're not won till the 64th or 5th minute. Can a new team at this kind of grade or at this point of a championship be almost too eager to settle into it and get going and all those kind of things?
Yeah, they will, but I think they'll probably trust their own game plan. I don't expect too many, alterations to, positions and all that, because if you do, you're dealing with the most experienced team left in the championship. So, if you do that, and if you concentrate too much on the opposition, you can sometimes lose your own strength. So, from a Clooney Quin point of view, I think that they are well aware, I think, of what Ballyea have, and likewise, Ballyea will be well aware of what Clooney have. And again, it's who gets that parity around that middle third. You have Jack O'Neill, Jimmy Corey, Ryan Taylor in that engine room. Ballyea on the other hand have they the players to go with those around that middle third? And that could be crucial. And again, will Clooney adopt a sweeper to play in front of Tony Kelly? And if they do, now they did it the last day, and John Keneally is well capable of doing it. Or Kyo, they're well capable of doing that. But there'll be a bit of, I think, feeling each other out, I think, for the first couple of minutes to see what formations appear.
Is the fear, though, if you play a sweeper against Ballyea, that you give Jack Brown the freedom of the 45-metre line?
Well, that's it, you see. That's if you go at one end, you give the opposition that opportunity at the other end. And particularly when you've experienced players. Now, to me, Paul Flanagan has been probably one of the players of the championship. He's taken on the very best and has come out. Gudgy, Jack Brown, they've been around. So, and the biggest thing, the difference maybe between Clooney and Ballyea is that when you're under pressure, you revert to your experience. Clooney aren't there yet, Clooney Quin, but they are on their way. So, and again, who can hurl in the storm rather than the sunshine will be the winners of this.
Absolutely. But right now we're going to pause for the live singing of our Navian. Victory already for Clooney Quin here in Park Kissogue as Natasha Coughlin from the Clooney Quin parish gives us our on Naveen. And just to give a shout out to the woman that sang it for us yesterday, Melanie Hock, who plays under 14 camogie, we're told, with Eroge. I actually met her dad yesterday evening, and he told me that he was very, very proud of her indeed, and proud indeed he should be. So Pádraig, thanks for that, and we hope you enjoyed the Chinese. I know I liked my one as well. We're ready to go here in Zimmerbeim at Park Kissogue. We're just looking around for positional switches. Callum Hassett's going in on Paul Flanagan. Jim Hickey, Os Cratlock has the ball underway, and Jimmy Curry for Clooney Quin. The captain tries to get that first ball up into his hand. Half hook, still goes through, tries to flick it down. Jim Hickey says play away. I think that's going to be a common theme today. Paul Flanagan tidies the ball up on the 13 metre line, sends it down, searching somewhere between Tony Kelly and Darren Griffin, but with him right there is Conor Grogan, and Bruiser is already screaming the instructions here in the technical area under the watchful eye of linesman Andy McMahon. Ryan Taylor, he comes away with the ball on the 45 metre line, finds his midfield partner Corey, just gets wrapped up there by Doohan. He gets the hand pass clear out here to Jack O'Neill, tries to find it through, threaded through a corner, but Daniel Costello reads it brilliantly. Corey dispossesses it even better. There's a Sam Scanlon there looking for the ball as well. He has it. He's in between two or three Ballyea players. This is hectic early doors. Lovely flick in there from Ryan Taylor. Gets the ball out here to Derek Keogh, picks it up. Gudgie's with him. So too is Cathal Doohan. Keogh still has the ball. Referee says there was a foul. First opportunity for Peter Duggan if he'll trot out to take it. It's hot and heavy, Tommy, with a minute played.
Yeah, and it's frantic like it was yesterday evening. I think no time or space on the ball for either players, and you would expect nothing more. Again, this will be probably a sight or a one for Peter, because it's hard to determine exactly which way. If the flag on the scoreboard is blown towards the Temple gate, so I'm going to keep quiet. Who am I to be telling Peter Duggan?
The ones here on the sideline then are blowing kind of almost in towards us, so it's just absolutely anybody's guess as to which way it's going. And down here underneath us, Fergal Lynch is telling Andy McMahon that Pierce Lillis is standing too close to Peter Duggan as he takes the free. Did it make any great difference? Just out to the left and wide. The breeze certainly pulled it left. Maybe that's an indication. No score on the board. O'Sullivan Hansbury Motors and the Kilrush Road and Ennis, our commentary sponsors this afternoon. Puck out for Barry Coote, trying to find the middle of the park here. That looks good for Ryan Taylor to break it down, but Gudgie was reading that as well. Gets down in front of it. In goes Peter Duggan. With him there was Peter Casey. So too is Cathal Doohan. Peter does manage to get it away in towards Darragh McNamara. First opportunity for him to pump the legs. Outside him there is Callum Hassett, just forced onto the back foot. Took one look at the goals and sent the ball between the posts. For just the briefest of moments, he thought about taking on the goal opportunity. Instead, just popped it over. The first score of this TUS Clare Senior Hurling semi-final comes the way of Clooney Quin and the stick of Callum Hassett.
Yeah, it's an interesting lineup. Gudgie is taking up Ryan Taylor. Now, I'm not sure is he going to chase him all the way, but he's definitely picking him up with Jack Brown here sitting back here.
Every single decision is being fought for here early doors as there's a line ball being disputed underneath us. It does go the way of Clooney Quin though, and the man wearing the number 5 jersey and the bright red helmet is Derek Keogh. He will take this line ball. Just looking around again at the matchups, Gudgie and Ryan Taylor, what a brilliant one that's going to be to watch. Daniel Costello and Jimmy Curry and Peter Casey and Peter Duggan, the two Peters here underneath us. Derek Keogh with the line ball, gets a great connection on that, doesn't he? He goes flying up towards the 45 metre line, tidying it up as ever. Jack Brown tries to go through the cover, wins his free. He's just expert at that.
Yeah, and again, look at, I think, Jack has that experience.
Ooh. Now, just to explain what happened for those that were listening on our Clare FM feed, Jack Brown went to take a quick free. Jerry O'Connor kind of wouldn't get out of the way, shall we say, so Jack decided he was going to take the free anyway. It has sparked a big conundrum here underneath us, and I think it's not pretty on or off the field right now.
And both the three officials now, I think in fairness, Jim Hickey had turned his back and gone forward. Look at, you see it happening. In a game, but to me, Jack Brown could be in trouble here. Now, he will claim that Jerry O'Connor was in the way.
Yes, but there are a lot of rules that govern what Jack Brown did, and I'm just wondering which of them Jim Hickey is interpreting now.
He's been called out anyway.
He's been called out now. I'm predicting it's going to be yellow, but I would be surprised if it's anything else. But he's damn lucky, in my opinion, as you said, Tommy, and I would agree with you, that it is only yellow. It was, it was needless and reckless and careless and all those words that can often be used, and the colour of the card though is still in the hands of Jim Hickey. He's still talking to him, and it is going to be a yellow card for Jack Brown. So he's on a warning already. So just, one that you probably didn't need to be picking up this early, I think.
Particularly as a defender. Now, look, it's going to be a throw-in. The free is overturned, and I think a sensible decision by Jim Hickey.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. No, he doesn't get caught up in it, in fairness to him. Tony Kelly does, though. Gets the ball out to the far side of the ground, and off goes the much talked about Keane Kirby. Cutting through, gets the hand pass clear in towards Gudgie. He tries to get the flick around the corner. It's there with Fikra Kirby this time again, just standing out, trying to pick it up as Pierce Littis. He does, gets wrapped up. Good tackle there from John Cahill on that occasion, and Keneally's back there as well, just trying to tidy things up. It's Keneally, the man that has it, going across his own goal line. Pierce Littis there with him. He does manage to bring it clear. That's very, very well worked out here towards John Cahill now as he takes off, gets the hand pass into the middle of the park. Kelly is there, late hit on Cahill as he was going away there. There's plenty being left in, that's for sure and certain, but it's Clooney Quin with the first point on the board, as we say, 5 minutes gone.
Yeah, and again, no more than any of the games at the weekend, everything is to play for. So, bodies are on the line. But likewise, I think, cool heads, will go a long way here today, particularly in knockout hurling.
Here comes Peter Duggan with his second long-range free, and he's trotting away, quite contented after that one because it's gone straight between the posts. The big man gets on the board. It's 2 points to Clooney Quin. It's no score to Ballyea, and we have coming up on 5 minutes played here. If you're watching on your Clare GA TV team, that's thanks to Zimmer and indeed Custody Construction as well. Long ball down, a brilliant take, just pops out of the hand though of John Keneally on that occasion, gets to the ground. Peter Duggan goes wrapping it around, trying to pick it up again. It's just a little bit of a ruck between the 45 and 65 metre line at the defensive end of the ground for the Clooney Quin men. They picked up there by it's sent into the corner. Lovely ball from Cahill Doohan, trying to play it wide, trying to play it into the far extreme to Aaron Griffin. Really sharp turn from him in along the 13 metre line, shortens up the grip but never really got a hold of the shot as it just hits the side netting, goes to the left and wide. Great pace, but the finish was just slightly off.
Yeah, the ball is out quickly. Without a score, Jim Hickey will allow the ball, and it switched from one end of the field to the other.
Lovely angle ball from Jerry O'Connor, trying to find Darragh McNamara again. Gets on the possession, gets the ball into the hand. He's caught it twice, he's got to play it. It goes back to the ground. Jimmy Curry, he's found a little bit of open country in front of him. Callum Hassan's outside him. It's just taken off him. That was a perfectly timed tackle, but it's a goal. It's Sam Scanlon, the man that has snapped it up and fired it into the back of the net. All the work done by the captain. Jimmy Curry going through. Great challenge on him. Ball went to the ground, but foraging and flicking it up, and there was Sam Scanlon to just lash it to the back of the net. It's a dream start for Clooney Quin. They lead 1-2 to no score after 7 minutes of play.
Yeah, and again, I thought the Ballyea defence had scrambled there. They turned over Jimmy Curry, but in fairness, they regrouped, got the ball out. I witnessed a bit of an incident here between two inter-county players, one waving the hurley at another one, and both the players not too happy.
Right, well, they'll be training in November, so they can sort it out then. Right now they're fighting for their clubs, as they should be. And one of them over there is Ryan Taylor. He puts it down the line, looking there for Jerry O'Connor. Plenty interested cousins in Carrush and Quilty, no doubt tuned in and supporting Jerry this afternoon. He has just gone to the ground under a challenge over there on the far side of the pitch.
Jerry
Jack
O'Connor
Brown
has gone down.
Yeah, that's Jerry, he's over there, but it was Jack Brown involved over there once again. They're having a right old tussle, trying to come away with it there. Brilliantly was Gudgie.
I think both players had just went to the ground. Jack Brown has another hurley broken. That's his second one, and the game isn't done. No, it's not. It's not too often you see a lad breaking two hurleys in the first 8 minutes. But
I would argue in the modern game you don't see it at all.
You don't see it at all. No, I think there was nothing there. I think both Jerry and Jack went for the ball. There was a coming together. Both went to ground, and I think Jack Brown got up the fastest.
Yeah, we're getting some live feedback on that at the moment, but it will result in a free on the far side of the ground. It'll be Jack Brown, the man that's going to take it, and thankfully the running repair is done on Jerry O'Connor. What a fantastic debut he had here against Ina Kilnamona on that particular evening. Jack Brown with the free. It's a high dropping ball in around the middle of the park. Ryan Taylor and Costello inside underneath it. It breaks down. Gudgie tidies it up, shortens the grip, pings it down the field here once again. They're grappling all over the park here. Right now though, it's Aaron Griffin with the ball, takes off down the far touchline, pops the hand pass inside. Opportunity here for Morgan Gary, plays it inside towards Kirby. Goal! Fikra Kirby, the man that finished it. What a fantastic run it was to set it all up. Aaron Griffin, the hand passes came at the right time. Ballyea off the board after 8.5 minutes of play. 1-2 Clooney Quin, 1 goal Ballyea.
Yeah, and again, we spoke about it. There's pace on both sides, and Ballyea put the ball through the hand there, one after the other, and what a finish! It was just so slick. And again, keeper no chance.
You're certainly getting bang for your buck if you're in Páirc Uí Chaoimh this afternoon, that is for sure. 1-2 to Clooney Quin, 1 goal for Ballyea, 9.5 breathless minutes gone. Far side of the ground there is Doohan, but he's just tackled there on that occasion was Cahill, put out over that far touchline in front of the Clare Karen Tractor Part sign. That's exactly how central we are right now, and Peter Duggan is the man going to take the line ball now. He's good, breeze in his face, 68 or so metres out from the posts.
Yeah, looking at the last Jack Brown's free, the ball seemed to hold up as if it was against him. So, it's hard to determine which way it is. The only thing is that it's definitely swirling and changing.
The line ball has got some connection on it, but it's just going to drop out. He was 68 yards out, Tommy. If he'd be only 65, that one had a chance, but it just went to the left and wide.
A 9-iron.
Puck out is taken quickly. Trying to steal in behind Grogan there is Tony Kelly, and he's being held back. And again, it's a simple enough tactic from a Ballyea point of view. Find the pocket of space around Kelly, put the ball in front of him, tell him go on and take it. Jim Hickey gives him the free on this occasion, and this is a chance now to bring it back to a 1-point game.
Yeah, I was wondering, for the start of the game and for the first maybe 10 minutes, Kelly was out around the centre forward spot, but in the last minute or two, he's taken up a kind of a one-up with the two Kirby's, as I thought, coming out around the D. So Kelly with his first free.
From the right-hand side, striking off the left, that familiar style from Tony Kelly as the ball goes between the posts. The Predators are on him today, and the scoring is on as well. So 1-2 Clooney Quin, 1-1 Ballyea, and we have just passed the 11th.
Look at that for the puck out.
Long puck out, down to the 45, down towards Peter Duggan. Tries to flick around the corner to Ryan Taylor. He's gone through the middle. He's onto the 21. He passes it off outside. This is Callum Hassett. Tries to take on Paul Flanagan. Forces back around. Taken to the ground. Free in for Clooney Quin. Brilliant stuff from Callum Hassett. The ball popped off to him by Ryan Taylor at exactly the right time. Maybe just didn't want to try and take on the angle, instead just drew the free, and this should be bread and butter for Peter Duggan.
Yeah, and again, I think Ryan Taylor is causing Ballyea, particularly the centre of that defence. That's the second time, and Jimmy Curry, they are running at the heart of the Ballyea defence, asking Paul Flanagan to commit. They've offloaded a couple of times now to Hassett, so I think Ryan Taylor, the midfield will need to be stopped or held up a bit further.
Peter Duggan with a free, the closest one he's had so far this afternoon, and he just throws it over the bar as that puts out the lead once again from a Clooney Quin perspective to 1-3 to 1-1. We'll hit the 12th minute mark here very, very quickly indeed. Puck out for Barry Coote in the goal. Had his injury issues, great to see him back. Young Griffin didn't do a bad job deputising either. Ball put down here in front of Pierce Lillis, getting wrapped up there with Derek Keogh in trying to pick it up as Daniel Costello. Out it goes to Gerard O'Connell, looking up, trying to spot the options. The great option is Tony Kelly controls the ball, kills it on the hurley, just loses his footing, has to get back up again. Grogan sticks with him, really good defending. Going over to help there is the very highly rated Evan Maxted. Kelly though just gets the flick of the head to Pierce Lillis, back to Kelly once again. That is vintage Ballyea. It's all about the work rate and the little bit of X factor at the finish. Tony Kelly with the point. 1-3 to 1-2. I've really enjoyed these 12.5 minutes.
Great work by Pierce Lillis, made the right decision. He always knew that Kelly was going to be coming off him. It's interesting now, I think has Costello taken up Ryan Taylor to shadow him. I would imagine that would be the way to go.
Yeah, and the other matchups, as we've already seen, Jerry O'Connor and Jack Brown, they're following each other there. Peter Casey and Peter Duggan are still there too. Derek Keogh and Pierce Lillis. So just brilliant individual battles. It's been a real breath of fresh air to see that this year. Right now, that's a breath of fresh air for Clooney Quin. If they can turn this over, they certainly can. It's the aforementioned Jerry O'Connor. Great block outside there by Tygo Hulacan. The man from Waterford gets his stick on the hurley. That's going to be a free. High tackle around the neck. And what was it? Was it a Hulacan actually was judged to be the guilty party for a finish? There's a lot
yellow
of
helmets.
There's three of them inside there.
Yeah.
It's hard to pick at times. I think it might have been him though. Yeah, number 4 was Tygo Hulacan, the man that was guilty on that time. So it'll be another free in for Peter Duggan. And they're just the last 2 frees there now. Well, maybe the second one wasn't too bad, but that's a soft enough one to be handed.
It is, yeah. But look, at the temptation is, when a guy goes around you, is to raise your hands. So anything up that high, referee is going to give it, and Duggan is going to punish.
He certainly is, and he's done it once again. His second free of the afternoon. 1-4 to 1-2 it is. Clooney Quin in front. 14 minutes gone, but as we know, Ballyea are never dead in the water until you're in the car on the way home having had the shower. That is how long it takes to beat them. Barry Coote with a long booming puck out goes right down the middle. Up they go to contest. The ball pops out of the hand of John Keneally. It's picked up instead there by Sean McNamara, striding forward out here towards Jack O'Neill. First time you see him in an attacking position. Lovely low ball there in front of Darragh McNamara, racing there with Tygo Hulacan. Just can't make it before the end line. Ball goes out to the left hand side and wide, but in fairness, Clooney Quin are trying to do the right thing with the ball every time.
Yeah, particularly with the inside forwards that they have. They're small, they're pacey, they're looking for that out ball outside the defender, and which asks questions of them.
Great work from Daniel Costello, taking that puck out and then firing it into the space where Kelly is roaming around that 45 metre line, turning on the spin over the right shoulder, and the ball goes to the left and wide, and we're getting the restart going already. Killian Duggan, beautiful ball to find John Cahill on the far side of the ground. He puts it in, 2 pucks, and they're inside the 21 metre line, but the ball is stuck to the boss of Paul Flanagan. Lovely tidy defending as he clears his lines. It ends up here in the hands of Gerard O'Connell. He's looking up, he might be caught. He had to shorten the grip. He gives it to Pierce Lillis, standing right on the halfway line, coming off his shoulder. Once again a lovely cross-searching ball from Costello, looking there for Cahill Doohan, who's moved inside. Tony Kelly almost robbed Conor Grogan on the ground. He did really well to recover, just dived down over it because the option was that Kelly was going to be gone inside. He's off the back of the ruck instead, and he's pinched another score just out of nothing. He gets his third point of the afternoon. 2 from play, 1 from a free. There's 1 between them once again. Clooney Quin in front, 1-4 to 1-3.
Derek, when you're looking at the match, okay, we know what the Kellys and that do, but for me, Pierce Lillis is making all the right decisions. He's not confused. He knows that when he gets it, that there'll be someone coming off him. It's quite simple, but it's very effective.
I'll tell you a story about Pierce Lillis at half time, and it just sums him up. He's class. Peter Duggan, what a take that is from the puck out. He goes through to the 45. He's on the 21. He's looking at the 13. He's got a goal. Oh my God. Peter Duggan, you are brilliant. What a score that is. What a simple score it is to win the puck out, run right through the middle, put it on the left and stick it in the top corner. Peter Duggan, good Joe. 2-4 to 1-3, Clooney Quin lead.
Worrying, as I said, Derek, the middle of that defence from a Ballyea point of view is wide open. So, I mean, Clooney are making hay there. So, that's something Ballyea are going to have to rectify.
Breaking ball picked up by Jimmy Curry on the far side of the ground. Again, he's got an outlet, tries to take on his man, goes by him, does really well and lashes the ball away down the field. Callum Hassett goes galloping out to the far side. Can he meet this before the sideline? He tries his level best to do just that. Again, though, he's got a fair man with him in the form of Paul Flanagan. It has just gone out over the sideline. It'll be a line ball or a leaving ball for Ballyea. 2-4 to Clooney Quin, 1-3 for Ballyea. There's 4 points between them after 16 and a half minutes.
If you're a goalkeeper and you see Peter Duggan hearing that, Joe, I mean, look, it was rifled to the net. Coote and the goals had no chance, but it was a classic goal. No,
all of Newhall wouldn't have stopped that one, let me tell you. But the ball is now picked up outside there by Ryan Taylor. Nice little reverse pass it is across here towards John Keneally. Launches it long and direct. Once again, the ball is aimed down towards Peter Duggan. Just hops off his hand. Darragh Moylan gets it. Duggan gets it back, picks it up, and just ever so slightly out to the right hand side and wide. In fairness, we are being treated to a really high quality contest here. Little moments of magic all across the field. But 2-4 to 1-3. Clooney Quin in front. Picking this ball up here is Cian Kirby. Great puck out from young Coote to find him. He sends the ball high up into the Parkis Og air, but when it lands, it is going to be out to the right hand side and wide. Killian Duggan is giving nobody a chance to breathe. That ball is pucked out already. It's for the on-running John Cahill on the far side of the ground. Gudgy goes with him. Cahill goes by him. Griffin is there next to try and stand him up on the 45. Referee says play away. The hand pass is loose. It's picked up by Cian Kirby, the man that had the ball wide just a couple of moments ago. Darragh Moylan just dinks the ball ahead there towards Cahill Doohan. He's inside the 65 metre line, putting it low into the corner where Kelly again is hanging out. He puts on the burst of injection. He tries to come in along towards the D. He was tapped as he did. Jim Hickey says will he allow the point? He will. Up goes the hand. Kelly and the boys put up the white flag. That's Jim's decision. Nobody has put up a white flag just yet, and now it is coming. Great score again from Tony Kelly, but it's really noticeable, Tommy. Okay, they're having Keneally sitting back sweeping, but Kelly's going left and right. He's finding the pockets of space in the channels.
I was just going to say, brilliant ball by Doohan. Yeah. Doohan, the instinct would be to turn and get it in anyway. He just took that second, looked up, there was a channel down, and he put it down to Kelly, and Kelly did the rest.
And it's 2-4 to 1-4 now is the scoreline here in this TUS Clare Senior Hurling semi-final. O'Sullivan Hansbury Motors, our commentary sponsors. Derek Yo puts the ball down towards Jack O'Neill, just goes out over his head. There's a race on here. Jimmy Curry, is he going to win it? Jack Brown comes over, he picks it up. Great bit of stuff from Jacko there, and hanging off him right there at the moment was Sam Scanlon, the goal scorer for Clooney Quin a while ago, but this time the decision goes the way of Ballyea. Kieran Connolly goes in offering the bottle of water. It'll be gladly taken there by Morgan Gary. It's been a very intense 19 minutes, and it is Clooney Quin leading by 3 points. Jack Brown with the free, again lobbing it down in Kelly's direction. Again there's a spare man back there. Kelly takes it down out of the air. That is a wonderful score. What Peter Duggan does at one end, Tony Kelly's trying his level best to replicate at the other. He has 5 points in this game. 4 of them have come from play. That's the pick of them.
I question Jack Brown hitting in a high ball to Kelly.
Not anymore. I'd say that would have pleased Brian Lohan. He's in the crowd underneath us. Peter Duggan is standing back. He's hitting a shot with absolute defiance. It's going to come back for the free though on the far side of the ground. Peter's telling him that ball actually went over if the advantage had been allowed, but it's going to come back for the free. 2-4 to 1-5, 19 minutes gone.
Yeah, look, I think it's both teams now, I think, have their formation settled in their matchups, and the game is now flowing. Unlike yesterday evening, it started frantic, but this hasn't slowed down. We know the standard of players on both sides, but I think it comes down to the decision making. In the heat of battle in a county semi-final, so far it has been superb.
Peter Duggan has this free midway between the 65 and 45 metre lines on the far side of the ground, looking at the Cloister goal of Zimmerbeim at Park Kiso. Currently his team lead 2-4 to 1-5, and he's settling down 2 points from frees already for him in this contest. Let's see how this one goes as he cuts it in towards the post. The umpire comes out and he is putting his hands out to tell us that one has gone to the left and wide, but a difficult one out there in the extremities.
Yeah, and again, look, I think that's Peter Duggan's 8th shot at the goals in 20 minutes, so he's been really involved. And likewise at the other end, Kelly is on it, and when you're here, you want your big names to perform. So far they are.
Certainly are right now, as the ball is again breaking here. Jack O'Neill tries to send it into that inside line again. Tygo Hulacan going in there with Dara McNamara facing his own in-line as Tygan does really well to pick that ball up, tries to drive forward, gets it out the side door to Dara Moylan. He in turn gives it to Jack Brown. Jerry O'Connor here with him trying to get the block in. Jack sends it away down the sideline, almost into the hand of Ryan Taylor, just glanced off his fingertips as it went out over the line, did it? Andy McMahon is underneath us here. Andy's carrying a bit of an injury as well. I see that the knee is heavily strapped down there.
I think Ryan Taylor has strengthened his arm. He knew full well it went off his hand, but as you say, at this stage, you're looking for an edge. Now, Kelly has come out. Will it be... I don't believe he'll go along. It'll either be a chip or a short.
It's always these short little rope-a-dopes, isn't it? Works the one. Oh, Jerry O'Connor, what a block. There breaks the hurley as he does, goes looking for a new one, but that one was well used because Kelly was lining up a lasher from distance. Fantastic work from the young man. Yeah,
and again, look at him. Didn't give it up. In fairness, Kelly was, as you said, was winding up, but it's noticeable Clooney Quin want to play the game at a fast pace, not allow Ballyea to settle.
Well read there by Jimmy Curry, stepping back as the run was made by Morgan Gary down the line for that line ball, just dinked back in though. Here's now Pierce Lillis taking on Kyo, and could he have played an advantage? Referee says no, we'll give the free, but a lovely little swivel there from Pierce Lillis, just absolutely sold to pup to Derek Kyo, and he bought it.
I just wonder if it was Kelly. I think he'd be disappointed that the advantage wasn't given, but it was an accidental. The leg went in across, and Jim Hickey, in fairness, gave it.
You're picking up the breeze there on our microphones, folks. It's an indication of the real authentic experience of the whipping breeze that is around Park Isog this afternoon, and we're watching Tony Kelly about 44 metres out from the post as he strikes this goalwards, and again it's another point on the board for him this afternoon, a second from a free, and 2-4 to 1-6 now. There's just one between them. 22 and a half minutes gone here in what has been a brilliant opening half between Clooney Quin and Ballyea. Killian Duggan for once has time and space outside in the goals to think about this puck out. They've been going fairly long, and this one is something similar, down towards the 45, down towards Peter Duggan, controls it one-handed on, then it's just taken off him. It was nearly a shame to do it. It was a class bit of skill, but Ballyea didn't want him to execute it, that's for sure. Pierce Lillis again, look, the ball down to Kelly, taking the sweeper out with brilliant defending from Grogan, but it breaks in favour of Kirby. He's trying to cut inside. Can he get the ball to ground? Oh, that's a brilliant bit of defending from Maxted, and Corrie now is going back to tidy it up. Gudgie there with him, so too is Kirby. Kirby. He's taken to ground. That's fantastic defending. That's what you call work rate.
And again, yeah, I mean, the initial ball into Kelly, didn't have to think twice about it. He looked up, knew full Kelly was making the run, and who would disappoint Tony Kelly by not giving him the ball? But in fairness, Clooney Quin coped with it. It looked like that Ballyea, had a run on him and were creating an overlap, but stemmed it, and now Killian Duggan with free. Again, it looks like from Killian Duggan's puck outs that Clooney Quin have the breeze, but
It's telling a different story.
yeah, it's hard to gauge, to be quite honest.
So Killian Duggan with the free. Jimmy Curry just receiving attention for a little knock he picked up there in that last bit of play, but a fantastic bit of defending from him and Evan Maxted to interrupt it. But again, Kelly is hanging around there. Conor Grogan has the unenviable task of trying to stay with him, and standing in front of him is a man that we'll probably see him lining out at some stage in the National League or Championship next year in the form of John Keneally. And Killian Duggan will try this free, of course, a man with senior football medals in his back pocket with Cratlow from just over a decade ago. Long searching ball. It's dropping right into the square. Duggan's inside underneath it. He has it down. He just can't get the shot away. He's absolutely crowded. Ballyea just get the bodies in around, and out they come with it. It's trying to bring it out there was Peter Casey. Did well. Get it out to Pierce Lidis. Again, sends it down the line looking for Aaron Griffin. Maxted there with him. Does really well. Griffin has picked up a knock. He's limping away from that. Derek Yo has the ball. Turning inside. Taking on his man. Gets the hand pass clear to Jack O'Neill. Met there with a big hit from Morgan Gary, but holds on to the ball. Here's Jack off the right hand side. This ball is going out to the right hand side and wide. That was a brilliant collision.
Yeah, as I said, bodies are on the line here. There's no one pulling back or hanging back. Jack Brown now again will allow Gudgie the chance to look up, but Clooney Quin have two players back here in front of Kelly, so they will have to bypass him.
Yeah, well, they're going right down on top of him, and there are runners coming off the breaking ball. It's Kelly though that picks it up. He has a pot at the goals, and once again he is in absolutely incredible form in this first half. We just totted up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points already. 5 of those coming from play. Sides level 2-4 to 1-7, 4.5 to the break.
And he took a quick look at that goal.
He did. I was wondering, but again, you thought the break was going to come for Kirby, but Kelly decided, let me take it on. We do, of course, have our Patrick Burke-Minzer man the match selection to come later on, so I would suggest there's 1 or 2 candidates standing out for that already. Dara Moylan trying to get on this ball. In goes Dara McNamara, but it's Moylan that brings it away. Again, just being tracked there by Jack O'Neill. Good work from him, and Jim Hickey blows the whistle. There's another bit of afters. I'm not talking about a Witten going on here underneath us as well, Dara McNamara and Tygo Hulacan, but again it's just these individual battles that we've been seeing.
Is Kelly coming all the way out? It looks like he is now.
Well, Jack Brown would normally hit these long ones. He's backing off from it, so out comes Kelly.
Well, I thought
he's just organising everything else inside
one of those decoys where I was thinking
Jack Brown made a burst for the ball. Now I'd say that was out of boredom as much as anything else.
Sometimes you switch off, I think Kelly is going all the way out, and next thing Jack will step up, pop it to Kelly, no one on him, and he puts it over the bar.
It's these line balls with Kelly. I don't know how lads haven't copped onto that. But even in the All-Ireland final we saw him taking those quick frees, didn't we, the little golf shots to work the 1-2. But right now he is looking at the post. He's on his own 45 metre line as he hits this one. There was a fair effort into it, and it has told because it has drifted out to the left hand side and wide. 27 minutes on the clock. O'Sullivan Hansbury Motors, our commentary sponsors. Custy Construction supporting the Clare GA TV stream along with Zimmer Biomet as we watch the ball going out to the far side of the ground. It's over towards Peter Duggan once again, trying to get that ball into his hands. They just converge around him. They give him no opportunity, even though he wins so much clean possession. Jim Hickey looking at this. He'll eventually blow the whistle. Someone's helmet has popped off. It's Peter's actually, and he's telling Jim, well, I hardly did it myself, but in fairness the ruck was there, and I suppose the clip just let him down maybe.
Yeah, I'm just looking now. It looks like Gudgie has gone back to wing back, and maybe Morgan Gary to come out to pick up Ryan Taylor. Somewhere out there. Gudgie looks like he's on Jerry O'Connor here, so that may be a Ballyea switch.
And Jacko has gone free a little bit as well, hasn't he? Just minding the D back there. But right now, the ball is swept away there by Pierce Lidis. Down it comes in towards the hands of Cian Kirby, trying to get the hand pass clear. It was a good flick in by Sean Mack just to interrupt him. Instead, out it comes to Fikra Kirby. Goal for him already. Is he adding a point? Is he what? Fantastic score from out on the far touchline from the Ballyea number 11, Fikra Kirby. Once again, this game is swinging every which way. It's Ballyea 1-8, Clooney Quin 2-4, 2 to go to the break.
And again, it's all about, in the heat of battle, making the proper decisions. And again, I think it was Costello, flicked the ball into Kirby. Kirby then had that step on the player, so Jim is pointing at the watch.
Bring it on, Killian Duggan. He thought Jim was calling for the puck out. 2 minutes of additional time to play to the end of this half. We've 90 seconds of the normal time to go. Ryan Taylor trying to pick up this ball on the 21 metre line, just on the back foot, gives the little jink, clinches the fist because he knew it was gone between the posts. That's a big score from the man wearing the number 8 jersey. Co-score Arish and Parkisog 2-5 to 1-8, and the crowd are getting into it now because we've had an incident here on the sideline between Cathal Doohan and Conor Grogan. It has continued with a couple of players in around the 45 metre line. Fergal Bruiser Lynch is here on the sideline underneath us, indicating his interpretation of events. I have to say I didn't see it. I was watching the goal at the other end. I just heard the crowd reacting, but we'll wait and see what Jim Hickey's call is.
Cathal Doohan over, so...
Now this game has been on a knife edge on a couple of occasions, so let's just see, is Jim Hickey going to follow up with a similar one like what he did with the Jack Brown incident? Andy McMahon is there telling him what I don't think Jim saw it either. I think he's getting all his information from Andy there, which is good officiating in fairness to the boys. And again, I think Jim is just indicating, settle it down. And I'd say by that reaction there, it's going to be a yellow card. Jim Hickey is kind of saying I have no choice, and it is a carte bouille for Cathal Doohan, and himself and Conor Grogan are again just now
getting to know each other.
Yeah, well, just watching Conor's
I was on
indication there.
Yeah, I was on the terrace in Tulla today watching the match, and there was a couple of tussles and a shout from, I think it was a Corofin lad, for F's sake, referee, it's a relegation match, put away those cards.
Well, in a senior hurling semi-final, the other colour could be fairly costly, because if your team come through, you could be missing out on the big day. Right now, it's still in the balance as to who's going to be there. Jim Hickey's given a free in. He just saw a little flick across there, and this is just now where managements, I think, need to get messages of calm, Tommy, into the field, because, as I say, a silly little reaction or whatever could be very, very costly.
Yeah, it's coming up to half time. It's understandable. Look at, it's no different since the throw-in. Every ball has been fought for, manfully. There's no one throwing themselves on the ground. Yeah, there has been a bit of needle, but look at it's a semi-final. So once they don't step over the line, I think the referees will use common sense. Not unless someone deserves a red, I don't think they're going to get it.
Yeah, Tony Kelly does have a free though, and it's on the football arc, Tommy, in this hurling semi-final in Páirc Uí Chaoimh. 2 football semi-finals, of course, here next weekend as Tony Kelly drives that ball straight between the posts. No, well, he was just inside it, I'd say.
Okay,
I didn't see the shaving foam. 1-9 Ballyea, 2-5 Clooney Quin. There's 1 point between them as Kelly sends over yet another score here in this game.
Yeah, I think there was 2 minutes went up on the board, so we're 1 minute into the game, into that, so still another play.
Yeah, and it's sent towards the hand of Jack O'Neill. Jack Brown goes over though to tidy things up, breaks through the cover and sends a ball away down the pitch, down on top of Aaron Griffin. This one's going. Kelly nips in on the blind side, kills the ball on the hurley. This will be a massive score if it goes over, and it is, as he jumps to meet the Ballyea crowd on the far side of the pitch. But that was just all about anticipation, Tommy. The Clooney Quin defence were laborious in the way they were going to that ball. Kelly said, thanks very much, I'll find fifth gear and stick this one over.
I was at an under 10 blitz this morning, and I was saying that you need to move to the ball. You can't stand and wait. Tony Kelly coaching video will be shown soon to my under 10s.
Now, lads, you're having a video session in Fecal for that last play, but that's exactly what it was. They just stood to let the ball come to them. Kelly came out and nipped it, and what a brilliant finish.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I mean, and can you allow Kelly to do that?
Absolutely not. You can hardly leave.
Particularly the form he's in, like.
And he's calling for every ball. He wants every ball, doesn't he? This one though goes down here in towards the hands of Arden Griffin there as Jim Hickey blows the half-time whistle. And as he does, after a game where we saw Clooney Quin racing in, Tommy, to a 1-2 to no score lead, we go to the break with Ballyea 2 in front, 110 to 2-5.
Yeah, and again, look at, I think it had everything, but I think from a Ballyea point of view, I think they shored up the middle of that defence there between the 65 and the 45, because Clooney Quin were making headway, going through the middle. Ballyea have reacted, and we'd expect nothing more because their experience. But look at, we've said it numerous times, right? The difference between the teams is Tony Kelly at the bottom end. Now, how Clooney Quin, they're doing their best to drop a player in front of him, but the quality of the ball is going in, is taken out the sweeper, and Kelly is on fire. So, I mean, cut the supply, they're going to have to.
Yeah, well, right now it is Ballyea enjoying a 2-point lead here at half time. Ballyea 2 goals, Ballyea 1 goal and 10, excuse me. Clooney Quin 2 goals and 5. As we say, your Clare GA TV stream sponsored by Zimmer Biomet and Custy Construction, as we hand off for a little bit of a break here on the stream. But stay with us here on Clare FM. Much more analysis and updates to come.
Taylor's Bar Ennis, a traditional pub with a classy modern twist. We are a family-run establishment situated right in the heart of Ennis, County Clare. Pop in and join us for a pint, a glass of wine, or something from the top shelf, and experience our wonderful, cosy atmosphere for yourself. Great staff, even better drinks, and lots of fun. Did you know we are Clare Bar of the Year?
Ennis Electrical, best prices on appliances, huge savings on premium brands. Ennis Electrical is a family-run business who pride themselves on good customer relations. Ennis Electrical are part of Expert, one of the largest electrical retailers in Ireland.
Custom sportswear and workwear by Baru Sports in Ennis and Shannon. From clubs and schools to local businesses, we design quality gear that looks sharp and lasts. Baru Sports Ennis and Shannon, custom made for your team, your work, your game. Call us now on 061 364 750.
NC Paint and Decor. Whatever your decorating needs are, paint, wallpaper or expert colour advice, we've got you covered.
When you paint by feeling, you can come home to a blooming good day. You can make any space feel like outer space. And your living room? Well, that can become an absolute blast. Change starts here. Dulux.
Martin Williams Concrete Products Limited is a family-run business based in County Clare, Ireland, specialising in precast concrete solutions for a wide range of industries. Over 2 decades of experience. Established in 1998. They actively listen to customer needs and continuously research innovative ways to improve their offerings. They have a strong local reputation for reliability and customer service, deep knowledge of the building sector, which they're happy to share with clients. If you're working on a building or landscaping project and need durable, locally made concrete products, they might be worth checking out.
Custy Construction Limited. We have a track record for completing high quality projects on time and within budget for a variety of clients, including large multinational corporations, private companies and several local authorities. We have become notorious for consistent delivery of highly complex projects. Custy Construction Limited.
Is Callum Hassad just forced onto the back foot, took one look at the goals and sent the ball between the posts.
Knockout hurling.
Here comes Peter Duggan with his second long-range free, and he's trotting away, quite contented after that one because it's gone straight between the posts. The big country in front of him, Callum Hassad's outside him, it's just taken off him. That was a perfectly timed tackle, but it's a goal. It's Sam Scanlon. Touchline pops the hand pass inside. Opportunity here for Morgan Gary. Plays it inside towards Kirby. Goal! Fikra Kirby.
So Kelly with his first free.
from the right-hand side, striking off. Peter Duggan with a free, the closest one he's had so far this afternoon, and he just throws it over the bar. Very highly rated Evan Maxted. Kelly Doe just gets the flick of the head to Pierce Lillis. Back to Kelly once again. That is vintage Ballyea. It's all about
so anything up that high, referee is going to give it, and Duggan
really well to recover. Just dived down over it because the option was that Kelly was going to be gone inside. He's off the back of the ruck instead, and he's pinched another score. Suits the 45. He's on the 21. He's looking at the 13. He's got a goal. Oh my God, Peter Duggan, you are brilliant. What is been along towards the D? He was tapped as he did. Jim Hickey says, would he allow the point? He will. Up goes the hand. Kelly is in the body again, lobbing it down in Kelly's direction. Again, there's a spare man back there. Kelly takes it down out of the air. That is a wonderful score. What Peter Duggan does at Park is old this afternoon, and we're watching Tony Kelly about 44 metres out from the post as he strikes this goalwards, and again it's another point. There are runners coming off the breaking ball. It's Kelly though that picks it up. He has a pot at the goals, and once again he is in absolutely by Sean Mack just to interrupt him. Instead though, out it comes to Fikra Kirby. Goal for him already. Is he adding a point? Is he what? Ryan Taylor trying to pick up this ball on the 21 metre line, just on the back foot, gives the little jink, clinches the fist because he knew it was gone between the Park Isog. Two football semi-finals, of course, here next weekend as Tony Kelly nips in on the blind side, kills the ball on the hurley. This will be a massive score if it goes over, and it is, as he jumps to meet the Ballyea crowd on the Well, we are back here, as we say, with Ballyea leading 110 to 2-5. Both teams back out. I don't see any immediate changes anyway. Number 20 is Darren McNamara. He started the game, and from a Ballyea perspective, that is Aaron Griffin that is going back up over towards that top of the right position. So everybody as they were, as Jim Hickey from Cratloe gets the second half back underway, and it's Ryan Taylor from Clooney Quin sending it down into the corner, looking for Darren McNamara, being wrapped up there by Tygo Hulacan. Illegally so, says the referee Jim Hickey. That's going to be a free in for Clooney Quin, and an immediate chance, Tommy, for Peter Duggan to put one between them.
Yeah, in the context of the game, it was kind of an easy enough free, wasn't it? There was nothing much in it, and in the first couple of minutes he was letting those tackles go, but look, it was from behind. Peter Duggan now will get a sighter here, the opposite end, and see which way this wind is blowing.
The lift is good anyway, the strike is good, and indeed the umpire is good as well, because he's coming for the white flag to tell Peter Duggan that he has got off the mark here in this second half, and it's back to, once again, the single score game. Ballyea 1 goal and 10, Clooney Quin 2 goals and 6, 45 minutes gone, or 45 seconds gone. If we lock on it was 45, wouldn't there? Anyway, it's in the hands of Gerard O'Connell. Coming off the shoulder for him there is Paul Flanagan, just behind the 45 metre line, delivering this one right in towards that danger zone. It nearly came there for Aaron Griffin, but Evan Maxted picked it up, and off they go out the middle of the park with John Keneally. Out here to Jack O'Neill, looking up, looking for that angle ball, gambling maybe to go in behind was Darren McNamara. Stepping out to make sure it didn't was Tygo Hulacan, and the ball has ended up in the hands now of Darragh Moylan, just on the halfway line. This ball is dropping and dying inside, and it's just going to be a simple enough one for Killian Duggan to flick it out here towards Jack O'Neill once again. Near side of the pitch, coming down along the stand sideline. Fergal O'Brien was match official yesterday. He is linesman here this afternoon, the man from Broadford. Of course, Kerry originally, and current Clare Camogie chairman. Jimmy Curry, lovely ball. Looking for that inside line once again for Darren McNamara. Tygo Hulacan there with him. Out they come. Good stuff from Callum Hassett. Just really broke up the play. The ball is in the hands of Sam Scanlon, reversing and just ended on his hindquarters as Hassett comes out again to try and help him. Darragh Moylan goes back to tidy it up. Darren McNamara is there with him. That is just absolutely frantic stuff outside. But Jim Hickey says there was too much pressure put on young Moylan. That's going to be a free out, and Jack Brown the man to take it.
Yeah, and again, the second half has started, as you said. Not every ball has been fought for. No time to stand up. Jack now will go into space, I would imagine. Yeah,
and down here underneath us, Fergal Lynch is having a conversation with our sideline official. I'd say he was thinking I had a grand quiet time on the far side for the first half. He's over here now for the second. One-handed whip inside there, just gets into the hands of Killian Duggan, and it is going to be trying to tidy this up. Jack Brown, it was Kelly once again just lurking around, but Jack Brown picks this ball up on the halfway line, sends an absolute rocket right up into the air. The direction on it, it's just out to the left hand side and wide, and Killian Duggan again is not letting up. A beautiful ball into a brilliant pocket of space for Jerry O'Connor to run onto. He's just on the 21 metre line from a very tight angle. That is just across to the left and wide, but it's what you'll be working on in training, Tommy, isn't it? To then break to the side when the short puck out is on, and Killian Duggan just puts it into a box.
And particularly Jack Brown, had gone and taken that shot, but O'Connor was alive and looking for that space. Unfortunately didn't get the score.
In towards Arden Griffin this ball goes, but that's good work by Sean McNamara just to break it back towards Derek Yo. He pings it into the paw of Jack O'Neill on his own 45 metre line, sends it down to the corner where Callum Hassett is battling with Paul Flanagan. He's pushed in the back by Paul Flanagan. It's going to be a free in for Clooney Quin. Paul is looking rather perplexed, I should say, looking out towards Jim Hickey. Of course, Paul now part of Paul Madden's senior football backroom team with Clare as a performance analyst, but this time by Jim Hickey saying you're a fouler on the field. It's going to be a free in for Peter Duggan, and this could bring us co-score once again.
Yeah, again, I thought it was an easy free in the context of the game. Now, I didn't see it up close, but I thought Flanagan had done enough to earn the right to play on there after. But look at Peter Duggan now with his chance to bring it level, is it?
Yeah. So it's 2-6 Clooney Quin, 1-10 Ballyea at the moment. So Ballyea in front by 1, but Peter Duggan will be doing his damnedest to change that as Jim Hickey goes over to take a right good look at him as he sends that ball between the posts, and we're level once again. So this is exactly the reaction that Fergal Lynch and his management team would have wanted at the start of the second half. We are back level, and it is a puck out for Barry Coote. Sends it down the line here, looking for the stick of Pierce Lidis. Up they go for it. John Cahill breaks it down. Ryan Taylor tries to tidy it up. Sam Scanlon almost got it up, and Jack O'Neill eventually does. But the pressure put on him there by a combination of Gerard O'Connell and Daniel Costello, and all of them are down there as well, just putting the ball out over the line. Morgan Gary,
look who's coming,
the closest to him, and Jack Kelly is coming out to have a cut at this. Wow. The tail is up, obviously.
I think
Why wouldn't it be?
I think it's a decoy. I don't think he'll go for it. I think.
Let's just see how switched on they are to it, though.
Yeah.
Look, he's directing everybody
look for
away.
someone to
Somebody's
break.
going to make a sneaky run. Somebody's asleep right now.
The space
Just
over on
gonna
the
get a
far
shot.
side.
There it is. Just a push in the back, was it? Yeah. Well worked. Free in for Ballyea. It can be very simple sometimes.
Yeah, look at it. But I mean, the line balls now, it used to be, the long chip, but it's great if they go over. But I think now, it's a free puck. You want to keep possession of it rather than puck it away.
But on those ones, what you're actually watching for is the fella that looks the least interested.
Yes.
Because he's going to switch on of a shot and then get the short one from Kelly.
Make the break.
But he has the free right now between the 45 and 65, about 15 in from the near touchline, and the most gorgeous arc on that as the ball flies straight between the posts. Sometimes people say, Tommy, that we get caught up in praising him too much, but we've never seen his likes before. We might as well enjoy him while he's here.
No, and again, we know the skill he brings, but he's the ultimate team player. He's the ultimate guy. He works hard off the ball.
Sam Scanlon, that is some score in response. Just picked the ball up at the back of the break and adds to his goal in that first half to level us up once again. 1-11 Ballyea, Clooney Quin 2 goals and 8. 6 minutes gone already in the second half. It's hard to believe it. Morgan Gary has the ball for Ballyea on the far side of the ground, gives it out towards Faker Kirby. He got a goal in the first half as well, but he won't be adding to his tally as the ball goes out to the right hand side and wide. Ballyea warming up a few substitutes here underneath us as well, but Jack Brown snaps that ball up down the line to Kelly, kills it on the hurley, sells the dummy. We've seen this so often. He hops it off the ground, shorten it up and stick it over, lads. That's vintage. That's absolutely vintage, Tony Kelly. You'd never get tired of seeing that. What a score.
Words fail me, Derek.
Oh, lads, you'd never get sick of seeing that. You don't matter. You're willing him to get that over. What a point.
As you said, we're lucky we're here to witness his undoubted talent.
That is a ball from Jack O'Neill, caught in the air, head high in towards Dara McNamara. Paul Flanagan trying to tidy it up. Oh, Callum Hassett picks it up, sells the dummy and sticks it over. Ooh. There was inches in that as the ball just gets over the crossbar. You wonder, I know it's easy for us to say it up here, should he have whipped on it first time inside there? He picked it up, thought he had the space and time to get the shot off. It does register a point and we're level once again.
Yeah, and again, I think Paul just got a bit flustered there. He took a swipe at it and missed it, and Hassett, probably when he got the shot off, would be disappointed he didn't raise a green flag.
Ball picked up there by Derek Keogh. Really good play from him. Sends it down the line to Jerry O'Connor, trying to get away from Jack Brown. Remember, Jack's on a yellow, so he had to let him go. Ball turned over. Free in for Clooney Quin. This young man is a really, really class little act.
Yeah, and again, the way Clooney play, they need to get him into it, but it can't be from a physical. I think they need to, keep it open, use his undoubted speed.
Run at the Ballyea 6 who's on a yellow. That's what I would tell him to do.
Yeah, and again, look at,
you could see clearly, Jack, if Jack wasn't on a yellow, he'd him pull back there. The fact he actually had to let him go, so it's a danger from that perspective, I think.
Yeah, again, particularly with a defender, look at your natural instinct is to stop him legally or illegally.
Stop him full stop.
Yeah.
I don't think it matters sometimes. Anyway, Peter Duggan has the free about 60 metres or so out from the post, just slightly to the right hand side, and Dougie does what Dougie does, sticks the ball straight between the posts. Once again, this game is going right down the stretch. Your big name players are standing up and the supporting cast are doing their job as well. 2-10 Clooney Quin, 1-12 Ballyea. That's Clooney Quin by a point, having trailed at the break. They'll be very, very pleased with that. It's a 3-point turnaround for them at the start of this second half. Ballyea goes searching for a response, and their captain Gerard O'Connell goes off, slips a little hand pass out to Daniel Costello. Daniel from outside the 45 metre line picks a really, really tidy score. It is just absolutely swinging every which way.
Yeah, and again, as we said, coming through the middle, there's another broken hurley. I never saw as many broken hurleys, in a hurling game of late, but
that's the fourth, I think, is it?
Yeah, that's where we're at. But Costello again, I think initially got the ball, gave it, but more importantly continued and struck a great score.
Somewhere below around Belvoir, Sean Torpy is smiling, I'd say, at the thought of all of them that's getting broke here today. Lovely pick up there from Jack Brown, tries to go through the cover, fouled as he goes to the ground. That's his absolutely vintage move, and I think that's exactly what Ryan Taylor is trying to get across to Jim Hickey as well. 2-10 to 1-13 it is, levels pegging with 9 minutes gone here in the second half. O'Sullivan Hansbury Motors, our commentary sponsors. Jack Brown with the ball just behind the 45.
Yeah, Derek was looking behind to see where Kelly was and trying to cover off that space.
Kirby instead goes over Quin, that is, and battling away there too, is doing the unconventional pick up with the ball in between the legs, but just tried to bring it through. Kirby trying to sneak around the corner once again. The ball was touched on the ground, says the referee. That's going to be a free out. It was Gudgy that was involved in that one, I think. When Gudgy is put to ground, it must have taken something to get him there, but he's back up onto his feet, fast as you like. Free out for Clooney Quin.
Yeah, looking up the field, Clooney, had 2v2 up front, so I mean, Derek now I think will probably try to, they're bunching and they'll probably break. No, he goes down the middle.
Right down the middle, right down on top of Peter Duggan. The hand goes up, the ball breaks down. Dara McNamara is there trying to pick it up. Paul Flanagan's red helmet is hanging around the general vicinity. It's a red helmet of Peter Duggan. Over the shoulder on the spin, Peter Duggan. What a brilliant score. This fella is just full of ingenuity.
Yeah, look at, I mean, the Ballyea defence would have thought they would have everything covered, but, look at what TK does at one end, Peter Duggan can do at the other end. So, again, Peter Casey is down, I'd say. Jim Hickey is in play on.
Yeah, Kieran Connolly's going in now because it's not a head injury. He doesn't have to stop. It's actually...
it's Peter Casey, I think.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, there's some sale on yellow helmets out around Ballyea, let me tell you. Here comes Jimmy Curry, dropping a dangerous ball inside around. Dara McNamara comes and gets it, and he goals it. Oh my word, how simple. What a ball from Jimmy Curry to find him, but Dara McNamara, brave as you like, just anticipated that dropping ball. It stuck to his paw, it met the boss of his hurley, and it flew into the back of the net. Massive score for Clooney Quin, 3-11 to 113, 11 gone second half.
Yeah, I think Ballyea will be disappointed because they were down a defender when that ball went in, but you could see Coot Kem didn't get it. Once Mac had it, it was a case of keeping his cool and slotted it home. 3 goals, again, I think Ballyea will be disappointed, but it was a 1-on-1, I think, which in the second half it looks like Ballyea or Clooney Quin have shuffled everyone back and are quite prepared to go 2v2 up front.
Well, that's a big score, 3-11, 113. There's 4 between them once again here. 12 minutes gone, second half, as we watch the puck-out routine getting set up here underneath us from a Ballyea perspective. Just a line down the middle and then they'll break off. So they'll be preparing substitutes here underneath us, I think.
18, number
Thomas
8.
Kelly, yeah. Man that plays his football, of course, with Shannon Gales, knocked out of the championship last weekend against Corofin, so he'd have had a week of unbroken hurling to get ready for this one. Right now they need a response, but who's to say they won't get it? Barry Coote drops the puck out right down onto the 45-metre line again. Ball breaks down. And it is Ballyea that pick it up through Cian Kirby on this occasion, but it's Jack O'Neill. He steals in off the back of the ruck, puts Jack Brown on the back foot in towards Callum Hassett. Ball just didn't stick to hand, and Ballyea have turned it over. Morgan Gary, he's on his own 45-metre line, looks to send it down the channel to Kelly. There's 2 Clooney Quin men with him, but the ball is going to hold up just on the end line. He's out by the sideline, tries to play it all the way across. He does, gets it to Fikra Kirby, just pops out of his hand. Good defending, great defending from Jimmy Curry. Gets it out to John Keneally, and now Maxted comes up, but he's just caught on the blind side. He still has the ball though, has he? Kelly's there with him trying to turn it over. Ballyea converge. Cian Kirby's inside there looking for it. Jimmy Curry comes away with it. Great bit of leadership from captain on Forna Clooney Quincha. Off towards the halfway line, he kicks it as well. Down the line it goes, but it's only done to Jack Brown. He's getting wrapped up there by Dara McNamara. Needs an out ball, gets it in the form of Paul Flanagan. Again, there's space down this far channel. Looking there for Cian Kirby. Peter Duggan had spotted it. Wraps him up. Referee's having a good look at it. Kirby goes off. Duggan has no hurley. Kirby does. He uses it. He sends the ball goalwards and he just puts it out to the left hand side and wide. A lot of energy used up in that last play for Ballyea with no return. It stays 3-11 to 113.
Yeah, I suppose Kirby wasn't to know that Peter Duggan had lost his hurley, and it's Tomas Kelly now for Cahill-Doohan. Yeah, 18 for 14.
Yep, so 1 green helmet for another. If you're watching on our Clare GA TV stream, supported this afternoon by Custody Construction, as the puck out will come from Killian Duggan, of course, Zimmer Biomet supporting the Clare GA TV stream across this season. And we are in Zimmer Biomet Park Kiso. Killian Duggan pucks the ball away down on top of Jack O'Neill. Over his head it goes to Jerry O'Connor. Continues his battle there with Jack Brown. Jack O'Neill continues his battle with the Schlitter. Gets the hand pass clear. Out it comes towards Sam Scanlon. 1-1 for him already. That won't be changing, unfortunately, from his point of view. view as the ball just goes out to the left and wide. It's starting to get nervy. 14 gone second half. It's still Clooney Quin though with that 3-11 to 113 lead.
Yeah, and it's noticeable that Jack O'Neill is in the play a lot more than he had been in the first half. So Clooney will be expecting big return from him.
Fikra Kirby has been moved to a more inside position, top of the right now as Evan Maxted tries to get him in along the inline, pulls him back, free in. Good stuff from young Kirby. They're lively inside. We've spoken about the pace they've added to this Ballyea team. This is an opportunity now to bring it back to a 3-point game. It's 3-11 to 113 right now. We're going to be hitting the final quarter of this game, Tommy, once this free is struck.
Yeah, and again, semi-finals, you're going to take it down the straight, but credit Clooney. I think, Ballyea came out and, got the first couple of scores, but that goal has really given real momentum to Clooney Quin. So, big test coming up for Ballyea now. Kelly will bring this back to 3-point game, is it?
Yep.
Yep.
So he has the free on the 21 metre line to the right hand side of the post, looking at the cloister end and sending the ball flying between those posts as he brings it back, as Tommy said, to a 3-point game. 3-11 to 1 goal and 14. 15-22 gone in this second half as Jim Hickey blows the whistle to say we can get restarted, and restart we do. A lovely little puck out routine work there between Duggan, Keogh, and eventually sent down the line by Grogan, but nobody there in that far corner. So off goes Paul Flanagan, scampering over to a right cornerback position to pick this ball up, sends it down the line to your man that's on his own 65 metre line. This ball is up into the air and it is between the posts, and that man I'm talking about can be none other than Special K.
Yeah, it's Flanagan. I think Kelly. We were talking beforehand with I won't say who it was, but do managements tell Tony Kelly how to play the game?
Not at all. How could you? How could you? Just tell the other 14 lads, and then Tony, whatever you think yourself. That's about it. Peter Duggan with the ball, trying to wrestle his way through. Out it comes here towards Pierce Lillis. Looks up, sends it into the corner. There's a bit of pace now about this attack as the ball is trying to be picked up there by Keane Kirby. Once again, does well, but even better, Sean McNamara sticking with him. Gets a call off his shoulder to Kelly. The ball just didn't go to hand, but again, he was there in support. But Ballyea have switched it up now, Tommy. Kelly has withdrawn a little bit, and it's like the two Kirbys are above to just run rack in the full forward line.
Yeah, and again, they have that pace. I think, Ballyea have reacted. They know, that they need to get their man on the ball, Kelly, and, around that. But look at the two Kirbys. Their instinct is to collect and take it on, so they'll test that full back line in there.
3-11 to 115 is the scoreline as Clooney Quin worked this puck out, or the line ball short to John Cahill. He had to sidestep Brian Taylor, and he let him, to be fair, because he's on the same team. So Jack O'Neill lets the ball away down the pitch. It just hops out of the hand. Jerry O'Connor picks it up from the sideline. It's going to hang and drop, and out and trying to pick it up will be Paul Flanagan. Yep, he does. Darren McNamara there with him, trying to put on the pressure. Gets the call from Jacko. It was a false one because it bypassed him down here to Tygo Hulacan. Next man in line for him will be Pierce Lillis. Instead he goes infield to Garrod O'Connell. Sam Scanlon goes with him to try and put on the pressure, brings him to ground. Free out for Ballyea. That's how they work it. That left cornerback position, Tommy, can be lonesome, but when you've cool heads like that, you can work it out.
That's what I'm saying. The cool head is that you invite the tackle, which will result in the free, and experience knows that.
Off goes Tony Kelly, this time off the right hand side. Is the radar on? No, it's just gone to the left and wide. It was Jack Brown's free that found his hand. The ball goes left and wide. It's Clooney Quin still in front, but Ballyea still in touch with 12 minutes to play. 3-11 to 115. This one is set up lovely. Even if the kettle is boiling, folks, don't go near it. Stay tuned to this one because it's going right down the wire. Jack Brown is going down on the ball on his hands and knees, picks it up. He'll never ask for a free, and he drives the ball away down the field, but it's John Cahill that picks it up. Pierce Lillis and Gudgy go with him, and they foul him on the halfway line. Free for Clooney Quin, free for Peter Duggan.
Yeah, and that breeze seems to be picking up whichever way it's going, because
well, this flag here tells me it's going to the Tesco end.
Yeah.
And the puck outs in the first half told you it was going to the Cloister, so it's anyone's guess.
Yeah.
Peter Duggan with the free, just asking Fergal O'Brien exactly where do you want me to put it, and he puts it down on the perfectly manicured carpet. I won't even call it grass, it's a carpet here in Páirc Uí Chaoimh this weekend, and that's thanks to David Hoey and his crew and the immaculate work that they've done on it over the last couple of days. Long ball from Peter Duggan is dropping in, and it's dropping over the bar. That's a big score once again from Peter Duggan wearing that number 11 jersey. 3-12 to 115 it is. We've 11 plus the additional time to go.
Yeah, it looks like number 23 is getting ready to come into the fray. for Clooney Quin.
That will be Martin Duggan to join his brother Peter on the field, and we've seen him getting big scores, haven't we? Their captain is Jimmy Corrie. Takes that ball, a simple little brick flick. He'll have to go after it a second time. He'll just try and take on his man. He's going across the 21. Is he running into trouble? Not at all. He's as cool as you like. Gives it out here to John Keneally. He'll take off down this touchline. Kelly's in front of him. Keneally sells the dummy, gives it to Peter Duggan. He'll try and take on his man, sends it away down the line. That's going into space. There's a race here now between Duggan and Gudgie, and that's a big hit down there, and it's a line ball for Clooney Quin, won by Peter Duggan. Gudgie came out, Tommy, he saw Dougie coming. He did pick up the ball, but he knew the belt was coming too.
Didn't flinch.
No, absolutely. That flinch, will you stop?
And Fergal Lynch giving him a clap on the back, because I think he appreciates that.
He didn't pull out of it, but he just got beat. That's
exactly.
it.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
So changes aplenty. Coming on for Ballyea will be Mossy Gavin. Coming off will be Aaron Griffin, and as we said, coming on is Martin Duggan, and coming off for Clooney Quin will be the man wearing 14, Callum Hassett. 2 points in this game for him, and Peter Duggan has his hands on his hips midway between the 45 and 65 metre line in front of a packed stand in Zimmerbeim at Park Kissogue. The ball is swinging and curling and twisting. It had everything bar the accuracy. The distance was perfect. The absolute height of it was brilliant. It just goes out to the left hand side and wide. A quick restart from Barry Coote, sends it down the far side of the pitch, and trying to get involved there immediately is Thomas Kelly. Takes off down the far side of Park Kissogue, looks up, gets the hand pass clear to Morgan Gary. Morgan Gary got a call from Ryan Taylor, and he listened to him and he gave him the ball, and off goes Taylor. He's on his own 65 metre line, dinks it down here to Jerry O'Connor. Jack Brown with him, as he has been all game. Again he wraps him around and he has to leave him go. Jerry gets the hand pass clear. Play on, says the referee, and Tony Kelly takes the ball from Gudgie and puts a bit of venom behind this one, but the ball goes to the left and wide. Maybe a shot that wasn't on, but savage work rate around that middle third.
Yeah, I think O'Connor, thought that he had to take him on. It's now Derek Keogh
from distance, turns away because the ball just went across the body and went out to the right hand side and wide. So 9 plus the additional time to go. 3-12 Clooney Quin, 1-15 Ballyea. That's 3 points between the sides as we go down the stretch of this enthralling senior hurling semi-final. Jim Hickey says he spotted a flick. Peter Duggan is absolutely aghast at that particular one. Free for Ballyea.
I thought the ball hopped out of the Ballyea player's end. I think Jim Hickey is saying that Peter Duggan. I have sympathy for Peter Duggan.
Yeah, it was of the soft variety, I have to say, to be honest about it, but it's free for Ballyea, just behind the 65 metre line for Tony Kelly. Maybe a step or two to the left hand side as he looks at the Cloister goal here in Park Kissogue. Taking his time with this one. Right now there's 3 between them. When that clock hits 22 minutes, what'll be between them? Just 2. He has put it straight between the posts. The umpires come out for that white flag. They're not getting overly excited, that's for sure. 3-12 to 116, Tommy 8 to play.
Yeah, I think it's now, look at Cahill is here. I think Clooney Quin just need to keep it simple, and get that ball forward.
And they do that right now. Broke off the hand of Martin Duggan, but tidied up there by Tygo Hulacan for the Ballyea men coming out. Thought he was brought to ground. Referee says play away. Paul Flanagan carries the ball forward, sends a lovely ball down the line here. Oh, that's a beautiful pick up by Morgan Gary. Mossy Gavin's off the shoulder. It was Cian Kirby actually recycled that one back. Here it comes now. Here's Thomas Kelly. Ball in towards the post. Where's it going? Just out to the left hand side and wide. A great setup play. Cian Kirby, gorgeous control from him on that occasion, but the ball just going wide. Long direct ball down on top of Martin Duggan. This time up he goes with the hand. Can he bring it down? It's tidied up instead. Ballyea just picking up these breaks back around there that little bit easier at the moment. Gerard O'Connell spots a man free on the far side of the ground and sends it out into space, and carrying it forward now is Morgan Gary. Sends a low ball into the corner looking for Faker Kirby. Does well to keep this one in. Can he gather it up? He can, but he needs someone coming off the shoulder down that right hand channel. He bounces the ball off the ground to buy a little bit more extra yardage. In it comes to Dara Moylan. Dara stands and strikes towards the post, and he puts it over the bar. Good score, good run, good support play from Dara Moylan as Ballyea bring it back to 1. It's Clooney Quin 3-12, that's 21. Ballyea 1-17, 6.5 to go.
Yeah, it's great to have outlets, with the 2 Kirbys inside, because they'll run all day. Their touch is good, and they'll ask questions of that defence.
Kelly right now is marking Jack O'Neill, the future, the present of the Clare senior hurling team. It's Jack Brown with the ball, taking it gone. Good work there though from McNamara to try and tie him up. Paul Flanagan brings it away. Peter Duggan goes off in chase. Flanagan shortens up the grip when he was soloing it out, and now gets the hand pass clear out to the far side of the ground. That's Morgan Gary being tracked there by John Keneally, forced back around, gets a call behind him from Paul Flanagan. He's standing on the halfway line. Jerry O'Connor almost got the hook in. He drops it in towards the forward line, but that's well read inside by Derek Keogh. Gets the ball down to this near side of the pitch. Now it is Jack O'Neill versus Tony Kelly. Jack left hand on top. Tony comes across right hand on top. Both of them battling away for the ball. Kelly getting in between it. Darragh Moylan going back to help them out. Sam Scanlon's there as well. Four of them looking for the ball. Which way is this going to break? This feels like it could be a big momentum break in the game. Darragh McNamara goes in. Gudgie brings it away. The captain of Ballyea gets the ball to the ground. Back goes Pierce Lillis. Gudgie goes back to tell Darragh McNamara, I won that ball ahead of you. And he sends it away down the field. And it is Cian Kirby picks it up. He's on the 45 metre line. Cian Kirby. This ball is hanging in. It's over the bar. We're level. It's going right down the stretch in Park Hisog. It's Cian Kirby with the latest score. 3-12 Clooney Quin, 1-18 Ballyea, 5+ to play.
And again, the Ballyea won the hard ball back here. Gudgie, Pierce Lillis moved it forward again. Perfect for Kirby. And he did the rest.
This is just a brilliant way to spend a Sunday afternoon. Line ball on the far side of the ground. O'Sullivan Hansbury Motors are commentary sponsors. It will be a Patrick Burke menswear man of the match selection. Yesterday evening we went with Dara Stack, the Aero goalkeeper, for his incredible display. Some unbelievable saves, and they got better last night when I was watching back the replays as well. I have to say that. So he was delighted too, actually. He came out of the dressing room and he was stunned and delighted to be getting his voucher and that bit of recognition as well. Line ball taken here for the Clooney Quin men. Peter Duggan battling it for the far side of the ground. Ryan Taylor there as well. Duggan comes away. He was met with a challenge. He goes to the ground. Jim Hickey will always be the coolest man on the field. He'll just stroll across now to have a chat with Andy McMahon. Peter Duggan will take his time, and it's 1-18 to 3-12 on the scoreboard with 4 minutes to go. We're getting some inquiries. Is the scoreboard okay? I think it is today. Yeah. So we're grand. Don't worry about that. 3-12 to 1-18. Just didn't today. You don't be getting it wrong anyway. But is that Finneran coming on, I think, for Clooney Quin? Tis Patrick, yeah. He'll be coming on very shortly. And as he does, Peter Duggan has the ball on the ground again, midway between the 65 and 45, no more than a step in from the far touchline, in front of the shed that's packed today. Really good crowd enjoying this contest as the ball flies in towards the post and indeed goes between them, and Clooney Quin, Tommy Edge back in front again.
Yeah, and again, over there, was it I think there was no need of rushing in. I thought Ballyea had lots of players there, but Duggan punishes them and forces Ballyea now to come out and look for an equaliser.
In comes Patrick Finneran, off comes Sam Scanlon, 1-1 to his name today. Not a bad day's work for the corner forward from Clooney Quin. Right now, all about the puck out. Another change here as well. And Fergal O'Brien going in to have a chat with Jim Hickey.
25 for McNamara, is it?
Yeah, he is...
25 for
Trevor Lee. Trevor Lee, yeah. So again, I think that inquiry was also about the scoreboard, to be honest. So Darragh McNamara comes off the team. Trevor Lee comes on. So both teams just playing their final roll of the dice here. Robbie Hogan underneath us, just stalking the sideline. His coach Andy Fahey not too far away from him either. Ball is in the hands, all lovely. Little 1-2 reverse pass, off they go, trying to bring it through the middle. Oh, that's a big hit on Tygo Hulakani. Still going though. Gets wrapped up into contact. Back to Thomas Kelly. Goes by the hands of Gudgie. Thomas tidies it up, and Tony Kelly snaps it up on the 45 metre line. Has a shot and puts it out to the left and wide. He's claiming that it went over. They're not interested in listening to it. The puck out is coming very, very quickly from Killian Duggan to Derek Keogh. Again, he has found space down that left-hand channel on his own 65. Puts the ball on the hurley. Now he meets the opposite 65. He's going to be just getting tackled right now, so he's going to need someone to come. That's Jack O'Neill. He tries to take the ball past Morgan Gary. Gets it back to Peter Duggan on the back foot from 65 metres out. Peter Duggan. When you need your big men to stand up, they don't come much bigger than that fella. What a score from Peter Duggan on the back foot, Tommy. One look at the post. Clooney Quin 3-14, Ballyea 1-18.
Yeah, and again, I think the impressive thing today is that it's there's a lot of good decisions. giving it to the man in the best position, giving it to the shooter, and that score goes up on the board, a big one, I think.
It certainly is. As the ball breaks down here in front of us, John Cahill goes after it. Ryan Taylor picks it up. Tony Kelly goes out to meet him. Taylor gets the ball away down here towards Patrick Finner and just goes by him. Ryan Taylor stays on. That familiar little jump and jink as he strikes the ball. It's tidy, but it's just out to the right and wide. 3:14 to 1:18, 2 between them with 90 seconds plus the additional time to go. This one is going right down the stretch. The additional time will be coming up here very shortly. Kevin Corrie, who refereed the relegation final earlier, I think that's him below on the sideline, just making sure that everything is as it should be. Thomas Kelly has the ball, far side of the ground, being met there by Jimmy Corrie. It's a shot in from Thomas, and it's gone across to the left and wide. 3:14 to 1:18 with a minute to play.
Yeah, it looks like, I think Niall Deasy is getting ready to come in for the last couple of minutes. I think Fergal O'Brien is informing Jim Hickey.
Yeah,
so this is the last roll of the dice, I'd say, for Ballyea. I suppose there'll be 3 or 4 minutes, will there? A lot of substitutions, not too many injuries, was there?
Yeah, about 4, I'd say, would be a fair guess. And, even all this stoppages and everything will all add on to it. So 3 minutes of additional time going to be played. Well, of course, that's at least. Remember, those 2 words are very, very important at times. So 30 seconds of the normal time to go. 3:14 Clooney Quin, 1:18 Ballyea. We'll get a Patrick Burke-Menzer man of the match selection very shortly from Tommy. Peter Duggan has the ball inside to Jerry O'Connor. This could seal it, he does! Jerry O'Connor, he announced himself with a savage performance here against Dinah Kilnamona, and he looks, Tommy, as if he has finally sealed and delivered this seesaw semi-final and a place in the decider for Clooney Quin. We'll stay with Pierce Lillis. He has the ball from the puck out. Jerry O'Connor, your cousins in Carrush, they will have loved that one. Right now, it is Thomas Kelly trying to respond. Thomas Kelly with the shot. Killian Duggan with the save. Drives out and gets the brick flick clear to Derek Yo. 2017, the last time that Clooney Quin were in the final. Are they about to bridge that gap? It's a rogue in the final if they can come through it, but Ballyea will never give up. Tygo Hulacan shortens up the grip, sends the ball back in towards the danger zone. A breaking ball it is. It comes down. It's Kirby, and he snaps it over. Keane Kirby with another point on the board. The scoreline will tell us 4:14 Clooney Quin, 1:19 Ballyea. That's a 4-point lead for Fergal Lynch's Chargers.
Yeah, look at goals win games. Clooney Quin have got 4 today, and the game isn't over yet, but that has been, again, I think was it Peter Duggan saw the flick forward.
Yeah,
O'Connor had peeled off, still had a lot to do, but
stuck it.
A man, a young man, kept his cool. Probably hasn't been in the game as much as he would have liked. But is that the shot that puts Clooney Quin into the final?
Fikra Kirby off, Niall Deasy on. The last throw of the dice for Robbie Hogan and his side. Puck out goes long down towards Peter Duggan. Hops off the helmet of Jack Brown. It's going to be tidied up, is it? Eventually it is by Peter Casey. Gets the hand pass across to Morgan Gary. Dropping deep, sending the ball inside. Kelly's back inside around that danger zone. Being marked there by Derek Yo. Picks the ball up, flicked away from him. And it's going to be tidied up by Conor Grogan. Really good work from him. Down to Ryan Taylor. Gives it out to Jack O'Neill on his own 65. Works the 1-2 back to Taylor again, looking down the line. Morgan Gary going with him. Ryan Taylor still has the ball. There'll be some nice in Taylors if they hold on to this, let me tell you. Lovely little reverse hand pass down the line once again. Jack O'Neill is about to come onto it. He picks it up at the first time of asking. Solos it clear, catches it twice. What a block down from Jack Brown as Ballyea turn it over once again. Garrod O'Connell, Gudgie takes the ball down the far touchline. Martin Duggan goes with him, he turns him over. Martin Duggan from the sideline on the far side of the ground for Clooney Quin. There it is, what a score, Martin Duggan. We said when he came on the field he knows how to get the big scores, and they don't come much bigger than that as he sends his side into a 4:15 to 1:19 lead. 32 minutes on the clock. Pierce Lillis has the ball on the 65 metre line, looking up, flicks it clear. That is Thomas Kelly, just dinks the ball over the top. They're looking for DC. DC's got the ball, he's trying to get clear, he's getting wrapped up. Was he fouled? Penalty! Oh my God, I can't take much more of this. Penalty for Ballyea, won by Niall DC. Probably why he was brought on the pitch. Does it ever end?
Yeah, look at, in fairness, Ballyea now, I think was it Tomas Kelly hit the ball in a perfect ball, I think, but DC had to win it. Now Clooney Quin will contest to say that, they just held him up legally. Look at Kelly has it hit already.
There's 5 between them now.
Yeah, look at
Have we time for one more play? That's the question. Now, again, all this has kind of added on
But I
time
think
to it.
yesterday evening we were hoping the game would finish because we were getting wet. But I think today we hope
Oh,
to go on.
keep it going. Keep it going. Here comes Tony Kelly with the penalty versus Killian Duggan at the Cloister end of Zimmer Byam at Parkis. Oh, Kelly sticks it. It was only ever going to go one way. Kelly now says, let's get out. There's a puck out to be won. 4:15 Clooney Quin. 2:19 Ballyea. That's 27 versus 25. 2 between them. Have we time for one more play? Have we time for one more little bit of drama?
Killian Duggan now, I think isn't going to be in any hurry, and I think he'd probably put the ball dead, out over the sideline.
Do you know what?
To
That
kill it.
wouldn't be a bad call. And the way he's angling the shoulder, is that what he's trying to do? He's just trying to get as much distance. We are going to have one more play. This ball is going to continue. Jack Brown goes up. It breaks in behind Martin Duggan again, but the ball goes right and wide, and immediately they're looking to get the puck out going. Full-time whistle blows, and Clooney Quin have done it. 4:15 to 2:19, Tommy, in the county hurling semi-final. They're into the decider. We can now call it. It'll be Éire Óg versus Clooney Quin in 2 weeks' time, back here in Zimmer Byam at Parkis Óg. 4:15 to 2:19. That's 6:34, Tommy, in total. What an amazing game we've just witnessed.
Yeah, I suppose first of all, Derek, we built up the two games as potentially classics. Yesterday evening, was a dour, tactical battle. Today, I think Clooney Quin and Ballyea brought everything that was good about hurling, a club hurling. We had the stars on both sides, but I think in the end, goals win games, and I think that was the difference. Ballyea have gone out under shield, but Clooney Quin, the up and coming team, and for me, look, at Ballyea will be disappointed, but I think they'll be, the first to congratulate Clooney Quin on a brilliant victory. Look, it's heartbreak for Ballyea, getting to the semi-final and losing out. But for Clooney Quin, I think, for a growing club out there, with a big young population, what this will do for the club and their Óg will be everything. Money can't buy it. Big 2 weeks coming up. Looking forward to the final. Great displays today on both sides. I thought Paul Flanagan played well. Jack settled in after a cautious enough start. On the other side, you had Peter Duggan, Ryan Taylor. I thought the defence, coped manfully with Clooney Quin. You're going to ask me the man of the match. Look, it's a toss-up between Peter Duggan and Tony Kelly. And I think this is a hard one, right, for me to call. And it is in no ways a slice on Peter Duggan. But I thought today the outstanding player on the field was Tony Kelly.
Yeah, I think that's a fair call. We often have that debate. Do you give it to the winning side or do you give it to the best player? And I think today you've done that.
Or the player that influences the game. Okay, while Kelly didn't win, his display was flawless. And a lot is spoken about Tony Kelly. One thing, he is first and foremost, he's a proud Ballyea man and never lets the club or parish down. A player with him, no frills, no prima donna. He works hard, and he's had some great battles throughout this championship, and come out on top of them. From a Clooney Quin point of view, I think it's great. Peter Duggan, Ryan Taylor, Jack O'Neill, John Keneally, but the younger players came of age today. Derek Keogh, McNamara's at either end. You had Scanlon,
Jerry O'Connor, decapitated here in the first minute.
Jerry O'Connor, it probably wasn't flowing for him, but he popped up with the crucial goal, and that's the sign of a good player, to keep going when things aren't going your way. Look, I'm delighted for Clooney Quin. We heard here Peter Duggan. We heard Peter Duggan here after the last day. Talking about how great it was, and that they would hope to follow Fecal after defeating Fecal. I think they have done themselves proud today. Always had the potential, but I think they've got the mix right this year. I think they have been mentally stronger than they have been beforehand. And again, credit to both managements. In a semi-final, you want to perform. I think both teams performed today. Clooney Quin shaded it.
Just shaded it, and they will meet here, as we say, in a couple of weeks' time. So we'll wrap up here on our Clare FM and Clare GATV coverage, of course, with thanks to our sponsors, O'Sullivan Handsfree Motors and the Kilrush Road in Ennis, and Custody Construction supporting this Clare GATV stream as well. Our Patrick Burtmans, our man of the match selection, is Tony Kelly. So we thank Pat and all the crew there for their kind sponsorship of that. To Tommy here on analysis, and Brian and all the gang back at base, we thank them for their help right throughout the afternoon. So the TUS Senior Hurling Final in 2 weeks' time here in Park Isog. It'll be one of these clubs ending quite a famine. There's a long one for Clooney Quin. There's a 35-year one for Éire Óg. One of those will come to an end. We'll sign off here from Park Isog, but much more analysis to come.
Taylor's Bar Ennis, a traditional pub with a classy modern twist. We are a family-run establishment situated right in the heart of Ennis, County Clare. Pop in and join us for a pint, a glass of wine, or something from the top shelf, and experience our wonderful, cosy atmosphere for yourself. Great staff, even better drinks, and lots of fun. Did you know we are Clare Bar of the Year?
Ennis Electrical, best prices on appliances, huge savings on premium brands. Ennis Electrical is a family-run business who pride themselves on good customer relations. Ennis Electrical are part of Expert, one of the largest electrical retailers in Ireland.
Custom sportswear and workwear by Baru Sports in Ennis and Shannon. From clubs and schools to local businesses, we design quality gear that looks sharp and lasts. Baru Sports Ennis and Shannon. Custom made for your team, your work, your game. Call us now on 061 364 750.
NC Paint and Decor. Whatever your decorating needs are, paint, wallpaper, or expert colour advice, we've got you covered.
When you paint by feeling, you can come home to a blooming good day. You can make any space feel like outer space. And your living room? Well, that can become an absolute blast. Change starts here. Dulux.
Martin Williams Concrete Products Limited is a family-run business based in County Clare, Ireland, specialising in precast concrete solutions for a wide range of industries. Over 2 decades of experience. Established in 1998, they actively listen to customer needs and continuously research innovative ways to improve their offerings. They have a strong local reputation for reliability and customer service, deep knowledge of the building sector, which they're happy to share with clients. If you're working on a building or landscaping project and need durable, locally made concrete products, they might be worth checking out.
Custody Construction Limited. We have a track record for completing high quality projects on time and within budget for a variety of clients, including large multinational corporations, private companies and several local authorities. We have become notorious for consistent delivery of highly complex projects. Custody Construction Limited.
Welcome back here to Zimmer Ballyea Park Isogra. I'm delighted to be joined by a relieved and emotional Clooney Quin manager, Fergal Lynch. Fergal, firstly, you're looking down there on those scenes, your parish, your club, everybody celebrating getting to a county final. Tell me what it means.
Sure, it means everything, Derek. You know, I mean, our club, the last time we were in county final was in 2017, and before that was in 1942, you know, when we won it. So look, it means a huge amount to the people of Clooney Quin and the diaspora that are abroad, and even the people that passed. Today is my father's anniversary, 4-year anniversary, and it's quite apt that we were after qualifying to get to a county final. So it's an emotional day for our family, and it's a great day for the club. By
God, did you honour him today?
It wasn't me really, it was the players. The players went out, they acquitted themselves really well, albeit not a great first half, which we weren't happy with, but we had a few words at half time and we knuckled down again and we went back to our principles and values, and the lads really stood up to that in the second half.
It seemed to be a day when you won the big moments.
Yeah, look, there was a lot of big moments for Ballyea too with Tony. I mean, an exceptional player that he is. I mean, he really put the game to Clooney Quin. There were moments, goals win games, and thankfully we were on the right side of getting the goals. There has been times we've been in the opposition of receiving them, but the lads have acquitted themselves well, and we just need to knuckle down now, Derek, for 2 weeks' time.
But what would have been pleasing from your perspective, and we mentioned it a couple of times in commentary, is the amount of times you made the right decision that led to the big reward.
Yeah, look, we worked it on after the Fecal game. The boys did a lot of analysis on the game, the Fecal match, our tactics boys, and we identified the areas where we didn't perform all that well, and we tried to tidy that up. Training had been going really well, and lads we didn't overly celebrate, I suppose, getting to the semi-final, and hopefully not again today, but I suppose we're really focused on trying to play the game that we want to play, and we have the style of players that we have, and the age profile is really sticking to it as well. And we've guys there that played in a minor A final only 12 months ago and had a huge impact on today. So I mean, it's great for them guys to get a taste of this kind of a level of senior hurling. And
that collective unity you're bringing to it is really shining through. Like,
yeah, look, we've a great management team in Derek and Francie and Victor doing the SNC, but Kieran is also involved with us, Kieran Shannon, and you know he's brought a different dynamic to it and a bit different thought process for the lads, and you know it seems to be working really well, and hopefully it'll work well again for another 2 weeks.
And as you say, 2 weeks time, taking on the neighbours in the road in the big town of Innis, like, it's going to be some build up.
Yeah, look at Airog, are a really, really good team. Watched them here last night and watched them against Aini Killamona too. Star player that is Tony Kelly today. They have a star player in Shane O'Donnell as well, and they have many players dotted out throughout as well. They have great experience and a very similar team to ourselves. They haven't won in a long time, although they've won a lot less time than what we have. But you know, whoever is there is going to be giving it 100% and trying to acquit themselves as best they possibly can, and looking forward to the day.
You've led your club to the final as a player and captain, if I'm not mistaken, in 17. Your manager now here today. It'll be probably two very different experiences.
Yeah, look at it. Myself and Killian had played in 2 county football finals with Cratlaw and won those. We would have said we would have traded those 2 medals, and no disrespect to Cratlow, to get one chance at marching behind the band. Killian has that chance, I don't.
Well, you'll be on the line watching it very closely. Given how active you are, you might as well be behind them, but obviously that's what it means.
Yeah, look at, I mean, the energy comes from the group, the team, and the group of players. Like there's 34 have been training on this panel, and the boys in the junior A as well, and they've been really pushing it on. So like it's not just me that's driving the whole thing. It's a rising tide lifts all boats, and thankfully our tide is rising all the time.
Great stuff. We'll enjoy the next 2 weeks, and of course that county final as well, as we wrap up our coverage here in Zimmer Ballyea Park Isogra. That's Clooney Quin boss Fergal Lynch looking ahead to the county final. Thanks to you for tuning in. We'll bring you that final here as well, of course.
JTV here live from Zimmer Biomet Porkisog. Well, I hope you enjoyed the second of the TUS senior semi-finals, where Clooney Quin have just earned the right to go toe-to-toe with Éire Venice for the Cannon Hamilton in a fortnight's time. Now remember, it was also an enthralling weekend of hurling in the intermediate and Premier Intermediate and junior grades right across the county. So we now turn our attention to the TUS Premier Intermediate, the Intermediate and the Martin Murphy Building and Civil Contractors Junior Championship draws. A huge and historic day, remember, for every club involved is now only fingertips away, and we're about to find out who stands in the way of who on that journey. We're delighted to conduct the draw, to be joined by County Board Chairman Kieran Keating, who will, as I say, conduct us through the draws. Just to explain, in case there was any confusion across the county, these are fully open draws. So whether you topped your group in either junior, Premier Intermediate or Intermediate, you can play another team that topped their group, and whether you've already played a team in the group stages, again, you can potentially be drawn to play them at the semi-final stages. So basically, it's a case of anything goes. So we're going to work our way up from the Junior A draw to Intermediate and then to Premier Intermediate. So we have the Junior A draw pot here in front of us. So Kieran, when you're ready, just explain to the viewership at home. In here we have the Banner and Clare Castle, who both topped their groups, Group 1 and Group 2, and they're in an open draw with Clooney Quin and Ballyea, who both over the weekend won their right to take a place in the Junior A Martin Murphy Building draw.
Thanks, Aaron. Okay, we'll go ahead.
First team out, so Team 1 will play Team 2, and Team 3, as always, will play Team 4, and it's Clooney Quin. So that'll be interesting for those hanger-ons here in Zimmer Biomet Porkisog, who stayed here after the senior match. Their second team still hurling into October, and they will play the Banner. Okay, interesting draw. Clooney Quin take on the Banner in the first of the Junior A semi-finals, which leaves in the second semi-final the Magpies of Clare Castle. Their second team, of course, their intermediates are in the Premier Intermediate draw later on, and Clare Castle should and will Derby game will play Ballyea. Okay, so that completes the Junior A Championship draw. Clooney Quin will take on the Banner, and then we have that Derby game between Clare Castle and Ballyea. We're going to move swiftly along to the Intermediate draw, the TUS Intermediate draw. Here, Aina Kilnamone and Smith O'Brien's atop their group. They were already in the pots, and just today, winning their way through to join them were O'Gunlow, who had a very narrow 1-point win over Éire, and Kilmaley had slightly more to spare over O'Callaghan's Mills. So they're the four teams inside in the pot, and again, Team 1 will play Team 2, Team 3 will take on Team 4. Take it away, Kieran. First team out. Smith O'Brien's. Hoping to get back up through the ranks. Smith O'Brien's made the league finals and have gone well so far to top their group in this championship, but standing in their way will be Kilmaley between here and a TUS Intermediate final. So that is semi-final 1, Smith O'Brien's and Kilmaley, and that of course should leave Aina Kilnamona, group toppers from their group, and this morning fresh with a narrow 1-point win, it should be the men from East Clare, Tua O'Gunlow. Excellent. Interesting tie so far, and that leaves us with one remaining championship. We'll just bring in COO of the Clare County Board to put the balls into the pot, and I'll just call out again for our audience at home, if they don't know already, and if they don't, where have they been? This is the Premier Intermediate Championship, semi-final stages. O'Callaghan's Mills and Whitegate both topped their group, and they were joined over the weekend by Rouen with a 1-point last gasp win on Friday night against Tulla, and Clare Castle's very impressive showing yesterday in Rouen against last year's finalists Tubber. So it's the Mills, Whitegate, Clare Castle and Rouen all in the pot. Take it away, Kieran. First team out will play the second team, and the first team is Rouen. Okay, Rouen with that late Shane Punch goal on Friday night, just catching up at the post with Tulla to defeat them, and Rouen in the semi-final will play O'Callaghan's Mills. Okay, interesting pairing indeed. O'Callaghan's Mills hoping to go straight back up to senior ranks, and that leaves our second semi-final Clare Castle, the Magpies. Score of 4 goals in Rowan yesterday. Very impressive showing by Gerald Loughlin's side. And they're going to take on Whitegate. Okay, so that is the second TUS Premier Intermediate Hurling Championship final. Thanks indeed, Kieran. Okay, and so that concludes this evening's Premier Intermediate, and Junior A hurling draws. Keep an eye on social media for confirmation of those draws and all Clare GAA platforms. And thanks a million for joining us on Clare GAA TV. So, as the stakes continue to get higher and higher, best of luck to all clubs as the countdown begins toward the finales in each grade for the 2025 season. Good day, Slán.